Hi, my name is Karen Blankman, and this is my PowerPoint over professional development ADHD. So the first slide we go to, it asks how many students with ADHD are currently being served in the United States. So ADHD is a mental disorder that is most often occurs in children. Symptoms of ADHD can include such things as trouble concentrating, paying attention, staying organized, remembering details, and it can also be a difficult condition to diagnose. Children with untreated ADHD are sometimes mislabeled and as troublemakers or problem children. So it is important to know the basic facts and symptoms of ADHD. But according to the APA, about 5% of American children have ADHD, and about 11% of American children ages 4 to 17 have ADHD disorder. So it is most common in severe cases at age 5. Moderate cases, it is common at age 7, and for mild cases, it's common around age 8. So overall, about 6.4 million American children have been diagnosed with ADHD in the United States. Question 2 asked, how has the number of students identified increased in recent years, and what are some of the reported reasons for that case? So in about the last 6 years, the rate of diagnosis of ADHD has jumped to about 15%, and about 2001 statistics showed that about 12% of children in the U.S. and teens in the U.S. have been diagnosed with ADHD. So this could be caused, in today's world, we are now learning what the symptoms are of the disorder and recognizing that there is a problem. So that is probably why the number of students has increased in the number of years with this disorder has been identified. Some of the reported reasons for that increase, these can include an overdiagnosis of ADHD, pressure from parents and teachers, such things like having the child to take that magic pill that they will hopefully do better in school and in the overall real world. Another factor is that children are spending more time indoors than outdoors. It is said that children do better that have ADHD do better when they play outside or on the grass than they do better indoors, but also the outdoors help them better on concentration. Children are spending like half time as they are outdoors than they are indoors, so they are spending a lot more time indoors than outdoors. Kids spend like about an average of 7 hours and 30 minutes-ish on entertainment and social media on a typical day, and about only 6% of kids even play outside on their own anymore. And most of them are in daycare or in school, and they come home, have a snack, and go to bedtime. So it is said that children who play outside have a better chance of, I don't want to say not getting ADHD, but they have a less chance of getting diagnosed with ADHD. Also, some of the reasons reported for that increase is lack of structure in children's lives. So having their parent structure and having their role model and all that stuff affects whether or not they get ADHD as well. And poor sleeping habits. So you want to make sure that your child or student are getting plenty of sleep, which is 8-9 hours a night. So you want to make sure that they're getting enough sleep in the night. Next question is, what are the specific behaviors characteristics of students with ADHD, In what ways do those characteristics make it difficult for the students to learn and participate in school? So to name a few of behaviors and characteristics of students with ADHD can be hyperactivity, impulsivity, difficult staying focused. They're fidgety. They have a difficult time of staying seated in their chair. They want to get up and move and stuff. They talk a lot. They may blurt out answers when you ask the class questions, and they're constantly on the go. They have to be moving constantly. So those are some symptoms of this, of students with ADHD. Some of these characteristics of ADHD make it difficult for students to learn and participate in school by impairing their ability to stay focused on the lessons that are being taught. One thing that all of these behaviors and characteristics have in common are that they all result in the student's attention being drawn elsewhere or other students' attention being drawn elsewhere. So the next question is, do all students with ADHD demonstrate the same characteristics or degree of behavior? No. Not all students demonstrate the same characteristics or degree of behavior. Students may have been taught different methods of learning or dealing with their symptoms in different situations. So students with ADHD, they all have different characteristics that involve them. So this may be from students being taught different coping strategies or methods from their parents or doctors, or being taught how to manage their ADHD symptoms in a different way. So they all may have been taught different coping mechanisms or different methods on how to dealing with their ADHD symptoms. So the next question is, according to IDEA 2004, under what category are students with ADHD identified? So according to this act, the Individuals with Disabilities Act, ADHD is identified under other health impaired categories. So students must meet a couple requirements to qualify for the special education under the health impairment category. So this means that the individual with a disability under this category of the Health Impairment Act, it covers a broad range of learning disabilities without being as specific as the other categories. So the student must be diagnosed with ADHD. They are limited to academic tasks due to heightened alertness to environmental stimuli. The students must require special education services in order to address the ADHD as its impact. So there are many categories that involve this, or that it covers without being specific as other acts with students with disabilities. And so the last question, it asks, discuss effective classified interventions for all students, especially for those who display characteristics of ADHD. So classroom interventions for ADHD, or students with ADHD, should be based upon a solid foundation of general behavior intervention principles. Thus, instead of focusing on ADHD system, management should first be directly targeted to the specific problem behavior. So, interventions for all students, especially those who show the symptoms of having ADHD, they should address the problem or bad behavior that is being shown and displayed in the classroom, and should also reinforce what a good behavior or recommendations or remedies for that problem. So the teacher should always reinforce what good behavior may look like for that issue or for that problem and situation. These interventions can come from lots of different forms, such as direct instructions, peer tutoring, scheduling, revisements or changes, and more moderate task durations, such also seating arrangements. So there's different interventions that can be effective in the class that will help a student who may display characteristics of ADHD. And this is my works cited. So this was my presentation over professional development, students with ADHD.